Hey guys, and welcome back to another Conan Exiles video. Today we are in the Exiled Lands, in map square C9, building a dark tower, the home of a Necromancer who practices the occult to raise the dead. This build uses mods very heavily in decoration, and all the mods can be found in the pinned comment below. So, without further ado, let's get started. Firstly, I started off with, of course, the base plate. I chose to use Frontier for the obvious benefits in constructing a darker build, and I built out a reasonably simple baseplate. Whilst building this out and constructing the basement, I tried to remain quite mindful of how the shape I was building would affect the shape, size and stability of the structure as I continued to build up. Trying to keep these factors in mind is really helpful when building something that you haven't pre-planned too much, especially if you understand how the stability system works. You can kind of plan ahead and identify issues before they may become a problem. After building a small staircase at the front of the build, I then began to build up the walls. Each floor will be 2 tiles high, with Frontier frames around the build to add a hint of connection to the outdoor environment. I used the walls to section out 2 small rooms on this floor, along with separating the side-by-side circular rooms from the entrance corridor and the rear tower. After finishing the ground floor, I then began to build up the walls and stairs of the tower. I then built ceilings above the ground floor to create the floor of the first floor, along with placing ceilings atop a 3x4 section over the front of the build. Next, I tackled the rear tower. I had a couple of ideas for designs for the tower, but in the end I settled upon a tall, hollow, tubular design that I think really improves this build and gives it some character. And after I finish furnishing the build, the tower will be quite eye-catching. Next, for the roof. I firstly built a simple roof over the front section of the build, then moving to the double circle section. This part of the roof was far more difficult due to some stability issues. I initially wanted 2 circular roofs connected with a lowered central section. However, this wasn't doable, so I instead placed ceilings in the middle section and built a roof section between the 2 circles that tapered upwards into the walls of the tower. After placing some door frames in the basement to pass stability through the rear tower wall, I was able to place this roof and finish off the build. Finally, when the shell of the build was done, it was then time to, of course, furnish. Approaching the build, I've lit the tower in a sickly green light, with a blood red light pouring out the top of the rear tower. Though I considered avoiding it, this build basically demanded mods. 99% of decorations in the base game would not have suited this build, and whilst radium torches could have replaced the lighting options, there was no real way that I wanted to sacrifice the dark and occult quality that I wanted to capture within this build, even if it does unfortunately alienate the console players, at least in the decoration portion. I mixed the green plague lanterns with red death fire braziers and frost fire braziers to capture a feeling of duality within the build. The red lights represent death, violence and darkness, whereas the clean blue of the frost fire represents life, peace and harmony. Necromancy can't exist without both of these elements, so I worked them into the build in sort of a symbolic way, and I think it helps to make this build more than just the home of a Necromancer, but rather a place dedicated to his craft. I've also included plenty of pieces around the build that hint at the Necromancer's practices without making it too obvious. The Necromancer in this home has dedicated himself to raising the dead through the power of forbidden magic, strange rituals and offerings to the elder gods, long exiled from the earthly realm. The corrupting influence of the Necromancer's work and the magic he's delving into has turned him into something less than human. Thusly, his earthly needs of food and water have been replaced by the burning desire to continue his craft and raise an army of the undead for the gods he serves. This desire to enslave the dead has consumed his humanity, and the preparation of live subjects for their revival has even influenced him to place prisoners even within his own bedroom for his enjoyment. Atop the tower is a shrine surrounded by the undead that allows the Necromancer to commune with the Elder Gods and use their powers to raise the dead. And there we have it, a dark tower in the Exiled Lands in map square C9. Thanks for watching. I'm pretty happy with this build. The structure is unique and nicely levelled, and the lore I've worked into the build helps to elevate the purpose of the design and definitely makes it a lot more unique and compelling. As usual, this video is indeed sponsored by NordVPN. If you want to stay safe on the internet and ensure you can't be tracked by shady individuals, all whilst being able to access Netflix, BBC iPlayer, ITV, Hulu, HBO and more regardless of where you live, all whilst maintaining blazing fast internet speeds, NordVPN is the perfect choice for you. When you use my link or discount code, you can get 68% off a 2-year deal, which comes out to $3.71 a month, an absolute bargain price for such a great service that I use almost every day. The software is a small download and it's easy to use. One click and you're both connected and protected, and you have full access to the internet. Nord also has very strict policies on protecting your data, meaning you can browse in confidence. Visit nordvpn.org/eradyt or use code eradyt at checkout to claim this huge discount and get the best VPN service available on the internet, and also help me out a lot at the same time. As always, thanks to Nord for sponsoring the video. If you've enjoyed this video, leave a like and let me know in the comments below if you have any build suggestions for future videos. As usual, absolutely anything is welcome. Don't forget to both follow me on Twitch and join the fun on our Discord through the links in the description. YouTube is currently my full-time source of income, so if you enjoy the content and would like to help support the channel so I can continue to put out the best content possible, do consider becoming a patron. There are multiple tiers of support from $1 to $20, offering many different benefits from a mention in every video to Discord roles, and even sneak peeks of every new video before anyone else. The link to my Patreon is in the description, so if you'd like to support the channel, feel free to consider becoming a patron. On that note, a thanks to our current patrons Sammy, Sodialot, Randar, Connor, Blue Ivy, Velma, Shannara, and Torn. If you're new here, feel free to check out the rest of the content on the channel. There are new Conan Exiles videos coming every Wednesday and Sunday, so if you like what you see, subscribe and ring the notification bell to be the first to see the next video, and to join us on the road to 10,000 subscribers. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.